The Justice Minister, he's stepped down. That's the news that is just coming in. British Deputy Prime Minister and Justice Minister Dominic Raab has resigned following an independent investigation into formal complaints about his behaviour. In a letter to Prime Minister Rishi Sunak published on Twitter, Raab said that inquiry has set a dangerous precedent, but that he would remain supportive of the government. So the spate of ministers stepping down in United Kingdom continues. Sanjay Suri is tracking that story. Sanjay, any further details about what really is happening in Rishi Sunak's cabinet?
Well, we've had now this third major, departure of a minister, for trusted minister, and this is within just a few months of Rishi Sunak as PM. So there will be a knock-on consequence for him, because there will be a question raised why he did not act on his own in the face of overwhelming evidence presented to him and chose to go down the path of this inquiry, which then ruled in ways that are obvious. Raab says that he was cleared on all but two of the charges, and he says on those two counts the inquiry was flawed. He clearly is now blaming the inquiry process, but very clearly there has been a number of complaints that have been registered by civil servants against his behavior. This was not some grand personal conspiracy to defame him. Mm-hmm. Clearly, there were a lot of people who had been affected by this, and there was a good deal of disquiet among his civil servants over his conduct. He has been found to be at fault, and he says if the threshold is set so low, it will be difficult for ministers to take clear and hard decisions. But that is his defense. That really is too late for him now. He is gone as Justice Minister and as Deputy Prime Minister, and there'll be questions now for Sunak to answer.
Yes, and that was my next question, that even though the outgoing minister said that he would remain supportive of the government of the day, what does this really mean for Rishi Sunak?
Well, it means clearly that there are questions first about his judgment in appointing somebody against whom there has been a spate of complaints. This was known to Rishi Sunak for some time. And following the appointment, those complaints continued, they piled up, and they piled up to an extent where he had no option but to order an inquiry. And all the while, it was the case of many civil servants that Rishi Sunak should have acted on his own in the face of the evidence that was before him. This whole process did not need an inquiry committee, given how firm and clear the evidence was, as now confirmed by this inquiry. That Sunak really had enough on his before him, enough evidence before him to have acted on his own, and that he failed to do so.
Sanjay Suri, thank you so much. Sanjay, they're telling us about what's really